Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to All About Racing for the 6th round in the season. Should have been 7th, but we missed out last week at Imola due to low numbers, and we can hear myself twice. We'll turn that down. We're here at the Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. 5.5 kilometers and 3.4 miles in length for this circuit. We've got a laps of 28 laps around here, 154 kilometres, 95 miles in length, 20 corners, 11 to the left and 9 to the right. We're running the C3 soft, C2 medium and C1 hard tyre. Matty H is leading the Drivers' Championship pretty decently now on 192 points, 134 points for Prof in second. Aston Martin's doing very well at the moment in the season. Cold Steel in third on 127, 126 for Never Fear, 120 for SX Perry, sixth is Looney Man, 7th Atmos, 8th is Rumsky, 9th is Matt, and 10th is Grant. Evening, everyone in the chat. 269 points for Aston Martin in first, 247 for Williams in second, behind by 22 points, should I say. 229 points for Sauber, Haas on 207, 192 for Alpine, Racing Bulls on 170. McLaren in 7th, 8th is Mercedes, 9th is Ferrari, and Racing Bulls in 10th. Just going to double check, sorry, something. I might have changed the setting back. Right, so we'll get drivers out on track already, nice and early on. Got the majority of drivers out on their outlaps already in the session. So as I said, Matty pretty solid out in front by around 60 points, there about 62 points, I think, my maths is right. So Sniper on a lap right now. I'm just going to go into the time screen one more time. If I don't get it to it this time, I won't faff around with it for ages. Don't worry about that. No, brilliant. Seems to have got it to work. So that's great stuff. So we're watching Sniper on his lap. We'll get the track map up, make sure we're watching drivers go off track and see if they have invalidated the time. Bit twitchy there into the corner of turn 12 for Sniper. If my telemetry app would have worked straight away, I would have just said I'd have been quiet quickly, but I'll just go through them. So there'll be stages where I'm quiet, but I won't stay completely quiet. Just so you're aware, it will only take 2 or 3 minutes or so. Cold Steel takes the fastest lap, the provisional pole, and then snatched away by Sniper straight away. who else we got on laps? Looney Man. Him and his teammate top of the Constructors' Championship as it stands right now. Across the line comes Looney Man, final position. And we've got Rumsky going on top. Which is a good lap from him, a 132.5. 3 drivers in those mid 132s as it stands right now. So Oraf, is he being held up here by Marshy ahead of him? It does look to be that way. As he sweeps past him now. So here comes Thunder. And I think now it will have my full attention. Everyone's names are correct. As Thunder comes around the final corner to 137, but he's going to do another lap. Andy, the only driver at the 17 today who is yet to set a lap time. Very decent first and second sector here for Andy. This could be mid-table. Oh, scruffy. Final corner keeps it on the road. Only goes 12 fastest though. Shame for him there. Anyone else on a lap? Is Oraf going for another attempt here? He is down on his time and well down in the second sector, so it won't be on a lap as it stands right now. Exo Thunder though, he is on a lap. As he comes through the twisty part of sector 3 up to turn 15. So Andy not on a lap, he's going slowly. Cold Steel is on a lap. Apologies for the radio silence for a second there, just making sure everything was up together. And here comes Cold Steel down towards turn 12. Best overtaking spot on the circuit. Used a lot of his battery. Personal best first and second sector. Got about 40% battery left to use. Won't be able to use exactly all of it by the end of the lap, but the majority of that should be able to be used probably until the last 10% or so. Good middle sector, close to Matty's Diablo's time. Sorry, that is the only one I haven't changed the correct person. And across the line, Cold Steel goes 6th fastest, 3rd place in the championship at the moment. 1 pole to his name so far this season. He's not too far time-wise off, 7/10, but wow, really, actually, I say that, maybe has a bit of work to do. 9th place, Gandalf, now personal best first and second sector. Doing pretty well overall. Around the final corner he comes. And it's a decent time. Sniper, though, goes even faster. Not used to seeing the Alpines up at the top, and we're not used to seeing cars right at the top of the hill here, taking to the escape road onto the gravel. Or was that just to get out of the way of other drivers coming through? Pole by just over 4/10 of a second. Rumsky now coming down the back straight. It does curve to the right slightly. Some of the league racers like to stick on that concrete tarmac surface and then get on to these curves with the curbing there for the left-hander of the shortened version of the Kota circuit. Around turn 12 and back over to the left-hand side to take turn 13, nice and proper, using the curb nicely as well there with the front right tyre, moving back over to the right for the swooping left-hander. So many alternative lines you can do at that corner. Back to the left again for the swooping right-hander from 16 to 18. The homage of Turkey's turn 8, which is actually a left-hander rather than a right, so a mirror opposite into the final corner of Andretti, and around to finish his lap, should I say. And very, very, very close, 0.005 of a second between Sniper and Rumsky at the top. Very close between 3rd and 4th as well. As we see Gandalf come in, I thought he was going to take out the pit lane bollard. Never Fear is on a lap, just over 2/10 up as they finish the final sector, or should I say more closely, almost 3/10 up on his last lap, and now he's on an in lap. So that was a reading from the lap before. Pray for Ye going slowly, maybe on an in lap, or just going once again as Looney Man goes 7/10 faster than his previous attempt and gets out the way for the flying Red Bull coming up the hill, which will be Slave. As he darts through the S section, he takes a lot of curb on the exit of turn 6 to open up the line for 7, and then using all the road and really nicely straightening up the corner there through the chicane of 8 and 9, through 10 and down into the braking zone of turn 11. Very important to ease onto the powerhouse of that corner because it's a long old straight. We're going to be climbing up to around 210 miles an hour when we hit the brakes with the DRS open. Got up to about 205 actually with Slave there. Some drivers might have opted for a slightly less downforce setup. He's got a huge amount of straights here, so there are overtakes to be made, and especially in this section of the racetrack as well. You can duck and dive underneath one another. At turn 15 into 16, 17 and 18, just using all the curb there and keeping one tyre at least on the black stuff. Out of the final couple of corners now, into the final corner of Mario Andretti, and up towards the line we go. DRS open, and it's only one position gained as Exo Thunder flies up to the second row of the grid. Will be sitting behind the pole sitter as it stands right now, with only 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. with quite a few drivers still in the garage, 8 I believe of the 17, and 2 of them on outlaps preparing for their final attempts. So I think Exo, unless he's got fuel on board, no, that was his final attempt. And he has got fuel on board, so maybe going for one final attempt. His cars now stream out of the pit lane. For their final flying laps. Andy comes into the pits. I don't think he'll have enough time to get back out again. Nor will Exo Thunder. He wasn't hasty anyway to get back to the pits. Gandalf is on a lap and improving in that first sector as he comes down the hill into turn 11. The McLaren driver braking around 80 metres before the corner, using loads of the curve on the outside to try and open up the corner, but then doesn't use all the advantage of the exit as the sun blinds you up and over the crest down towards the next corner. It might be on a television screen, but it really can affect your vision into the next corner where there's glare off the tarmac surface as well. Back over to the left hand side, just under 2.5 tenths up on his previous attempt. Might get him around P4 if he carries on the way he is. Misses the apex of turn 15 by quite a margin there. He could have parked a taxi in the space between that and the curb there, and coming around the final couple of corners, taking a lot of entry and exit curb again, using the entry quite nicely and then quite smooth on the power. This is going to be a good lap. It is going to be 4th place and 5 thousandths of a second faster, 6 thousandths of a second faster than Prof, who's just about to start his final attempt with 50 seconds left on the clock. Exo Thunder retires from the session as our pole sitter for now, a provisional pole sitter, goes on to his final lap with 35 seconds left on the clock. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a flurry to the end actually for some of these drivers. Going to keep an eye out with how many are just starting their laps here. There's Never Fear, I think, is the last car, and we'll get there with probably about 5 seconds to go. But a lot of them leaving it quite late on. Matt F1 as well. Oh, big slide as Never Fear. Could have took a bit more time. The Scotsman too eager to get on the power, and the checker flag will now come out for the end of the session as there is no time remaining. There's only the 3 minutes left to complete your laps, and that's more than enough time. Sniper down in the first sector, down in the second as well. Got a few corners to make up the time, but seeing as how good the lap was before, it's going to be a tall order to make up that amount of time. Gandalf has invalidated the lap, so will not finish or complete it. I think Sniper will be the next car up after this, and then I believe it should be Prof after that, and obviously he comes in and abandons the lap. And here comes Prof to the line. Provisional pole for Prof. It was a purple final sector for him there to put him on that front row in that pole position spot. Will he be able to keep it though, however, as Grant comes up towards the line now? We've got a car ahead of him, the Haas as well, Marshy, who stays where he is. Grant stays where he is as well. Was up on his time by 3.5 tenths. His teammate, Prof's teammate, comes across the line. Luliman stays 12th fastest. The Mercedes now comes across the line of Diablo. He stays where he is as well. And Rumsky comes across the line, stays where he is. Never Fear. Can he pip Prof to pole? No, he can't. He's down on his time and stays in 9th place. For the second time this season, Prof is on pole in the Aston Martin in Texas. We'll be back for the start of the formation lap. Until then, you'll see the rundown on your screen, but we'll be back in just a minute. But there is your pole sitter, Prof. So here we go, the start of the formation lap, and the majority of the field on the same tyre, 16 of 17 on those mediums, one driver on the soft tyre. So keep an eye out for Andy taking a bit of a gamble on the tyre. The tyre strategy that I've seen earlier on is one stop or a two-stop, medium, soft, medium, or arguably for Andy's sake, soft, medium, medium would be the choice for him. About 7 laps or so he'll probably do on those soft tyres. 7 to about 9 laps would be my guess. A lot of the drivers trying the one stop, probably medium to hard. I'm interested to see why no one is opted to try to go for the hard tyre to start the race with. But there you go, we might get early safety cars and people come off those mediums pretty early on, but we will have to wait and see about that one. So as we wait for the drivers to line up on the grid. So we've got Prof on that front row. We've got all cars lined up on the grid by the looks of things. Prof is on pole, BGR Sniper alongside him, 5 red lights. And foot's flat to the floor here in Texas. And Prof gets an excellent start. Sniper, on the other hand, gets the complete opposite. He's now 3 wide into turn 1, fighting for that 3rd place position. He does have the inside line and then cuts across. Some wing damage has happened there for one of the drivers as we go through. He's ghosting at the moment, his BGR Sniper, as he takes 5th place position after ghosting through another car as we go through the S section at the final part of sector 1. And there is your pit stop strategy, as I said earlier on, coming up on the screen now. And starting on the soft, it'll be a soft, medium, medium, as I said, for Andy, who's already down in 17th place. Prof leading us into turn 11 by 7/10 of a second. Everyone else very, very close. Matt F1 extremely close to the back of Pray For Ye as we go up towards turn 12 as we rise and fall, and then we do rise a bit more again towards turn 12. Is Ye going to go for it here? He certainly isn't. And we've got more moves happening here as Slave and Diablo fighting full position as Diablo goes through on the inside, then the switchback from Slave as he goes through on the outside. Into 15 we go as the Mercedes goes quite wide and then slams the door shut at the apex and keeps Slave behind him for now. And Prof not able to get away just yet. So Prof 5/10 clear. Grant taking the fastest first sector there overall. So DRS available for the first time. 3 out of the top 4, of course, will have that DRS available down the next straight. Sniper's going to have to go on a bit of a defence here, and it's not had the best of starts for him as we look towards the front. Here goes Rumsky for the lead of the race, and Prof does not want to fight it all that much and stays behind for now. As we go down to the next corner, ORAF already got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as Slave holds in a 13th position. Rooney man has had a thought up the inside there. And someone has gone extremely wide. I think that was Oraf in the Williams. He gets back on track, but gets back on track in 15th place. And Andy is left and retired from the session and was the only driver on a different set of tyres. Everyone else following the exact same game plan today. So I think, unless they're safety cars, we're going to see pit stops in a very, very similar window for everyone in this race. It's going to be around lap 13, something like that, where we do see the pit stops. As we follow here with the heli cam. No changes out in front, but here goes Gandalf on the outside at turn 13, but then trying to sneak through Slave He has to try the long way around here, might get good traction on the exit, and we'll have the inside for turn 16. So gets the job done for now. He runs wide and opens the door for Ludiman to take that place into the final corner of Mario Andretti, and takes 12th place as we start lap 4 of 28. The Haas behind of Never Fear, the Scotsman trying to overtake Gandalf as well. So Grant is pretty close here, and Never Fear as well. We've got yellow flags flying. That's for the Mercedes of Diablo, who seems to have got himself sorted again. And Exo Thunder, who's got no points so far this season, is now up into 3rd place, overtaking Grant. Still got a healthy buffer to 4th place behind. Sniper, 5th place, sorry. Sniper is holding on to that 5th place rather well after conceding that front row start into turn 1 with the poor launch that he had off the line. So, pit stop wise, it's going to be still a while, and it's all going to happen somewhat at once, I think. Top 4 is going to be a little bit interesting. Top 6. Actually, Atmos is in the chat. Hi Atmos, how you doing? Top 6 is going to be interesting with some of them, seeing as we've got two teammates in that top 6, so when they decide to pit will be pretty interesting. Here comes Grant getting closer. Not close enough. Is Matt F1 going to be close enough here as well? No, he's not. Here comes Never Fear, though, the Scotsman to the inside of Cold Steel. As Atmos says in the chat, he hopes his teammate gets top 5. He's now just inside the top 10 after losing a place to Never Fear. He was leading the championship earlier on in the season. He's sort of dropped off now into 4th place, the 42 Haas. Not doing all that well in the championship in the last few races. Rumsky now just starting to break away into a bit of a gap. Not going to have to worry about DRS behind him. So Atmos saying that they can fight for top 3 in the championship when he comes back next week. Atmos 7th in the championship on 102 points as of right now, 3 points behind Looney Man, who is in 11th place. Here goes Thunder to the inside on Looney Man's teammate Prop, who are leading the Constructors' Championship as of right now, and the Ferrari goes through into 2nd place. Ferrari on 75 points down towards the bottom of the Constructors in the penultimate place in that Constructors fight. of course, next year's game, if we do get one, no, EA haven't signed a new contract or anything like that yet. Hopefully we do get another one, of course, but we will have 22 cars to league race on the grid from next season, which will be really nice to see as well. Just that extra couple of drivers are able to get into league races. I know we do struggle to fill them out, but hopefully we'll be able to get some more. Might condense leagues as well down a little bit with those extra 4 seats. Here goes Crayfee on the outside, and lovely move from him there. 2 seconds is now the lead, and Prof is just starting to drop off a little bit. So as we go down into the next corner, driver's struggling. Maybe not though for Sniper. He does get closer there. He did move to the inside. Maybe a bit of a tease of an overtake there from him. And here comes Matt F1. He's going to dive to the inside. He is. And there was a reaction move, 100% from Sniper there to cut him off. He moved after Matt F1 did there, which was quite naughty from the Alpine driver. And that was clear as anything. That was definitely a reaction defence move there from Sniper. What will he do this time around? As Matt F1 is still right under the rear wing of that Alpines. They all slam open the DRS. Not close enough into this corner, and there's a lock up from Sniper. He's able to keep it in a straight line. Fortunately, I don't think there's any damage on the front of that Mercedes front wing either. Keeping an eye on Matt. Will he be able to get a move done in just a second? O'Raff has lost the place. I say that. I think Prof's going to go for a move here into 10-12. He does get left enough space, but Thunder stays where he is for now. And here comes Grant on the outside. Got a quite good launch out of 15. Oh, and what's happened here? Sniper into the wall. Is he disqualified? Taking a very long time to get himself going. No idea what happened to Sniper there. Matt F1 now up into 6th place. So, just about a third of the way through the race, Oh, side-by-side action here from Matt F1. He was had to go off the road as we just saw him go out of frame. Pit stop should start to happen about now. So, just sort of evaluating things here. Matt F1, Matty H, leader of our Drivers' Championship. Going steady into turn 11, trying to get a good exit, but then sort of gets bogged down on the curb, bouncing away, which would have ruined the traction out of the corner. And here comes Oraf to the inside. Bit of a lock-up, but he's able to get it stopped in time and move up into 11th place. Quite a few penalties now as well. 5 drivers of the 17 already with time penalties, and another incident at turn 15 that unfortunately we missed as Pray for Ye comes into the pits onto a fresh set of tyres. He's going on to the hards. This is early for the hard tyre. We've got others coming down the pits as well. Looney Man opts into pit early, hard tyres for him as well. We have a retiree from Gandalf. Got Oraf in as well. So 2 retirees down to 15. And look at this train of cars behind as Matt F1 just gets past Matty before turn 12, sorry, should I say. Just over a third the way through the race, coming up on half distance. Bit of a wiggle there from Prof in the middle of the corner. And we're going to pit this lap. The race leader, I believe, has just pit, and so is Prof following suit as well, trying to go for that undercut. Maybe Rumsky trying to cover off the undercut from the drivers behind, because they are in that kind of range. Where is he going to come? Oh, data's all over the place on the app for some reason, which is irritating. We'll see where these two come out. Rumsky's at the end of the pit lane, but some more coming down the end of the pits. He might get away with this and get out in some clear air. Spot on decision from Rumsky, and keeps himself in a tidy position, only 2 places behind his race lead. Still in the net race lead, of course, because the other 2 have not pit. This is the point now where I really thought the pit stops would get really busy. At lap 12, we've had some a bit earlier on. Clearly trying to go for a bit of undercut on other people. Here comes Thunder as well at turn 15. So there's only 16 seconds between him and Rumsky. Look at that, it's not the longest pit lane here, of course. Does not take all that long to get a pit stop done here. About 20 seconds or so in total. In comes Grant as well. Hard tyres. They'll have a little bit of a tyre offset though, of course. Here comes Rumsky out the final corner. He will take back his lead. Here comes Prof. It's going to be interesting, so you have to give a little bit of space on the inside for Grant, who seems to have got the overcut done on him actually. Doesn't seem to work all that well for Prof, that undercut. Or an attempt of an undercut, should I say. A rough and cold steel here. Rumsky as well, of course, has got a 3-second time penalty. He does have the fastest lap of the race so far as well, so we'll be getting that extra point. Will Matt F1 be able to close in on his rival? He certainly is. Is he going to go for the move here into the next corner? He certainly thought about it. All right, Lawnmower, how you doing, buddy? So Rumsky looking pretty comfortable out in front as we get on to half race distance. Whoa, Prof there making a pretty big mistake. Matt F1 going to go for it this time. You could see a big lunge. You can get big lunges into turn one here up the hill. Tries to go on the inside, but briefly he just swoops along around the outside. Nice and easy for him there. Little dart out there from Never Fear as we're watching this midfield battle, and a big slide there as the rear tyres light up and drivers struggling for grip on the hardest compounded tyre. They should bed in within a couple of laps. They do become quite nice to work with after they've had a few laps to go through a bit of a heat cycle. Top four. Oh, spread out somewhat. We've got this midfield fight going on. As we go on to lap 15. No one close enough up the hill this time around with this midfield pack. And remember, I don't think we're going to really have any other pit stops, any planned pit stops anyway, at the very least. With everyone just doing the one stop, quite rare to get a one stop race on F125. So again, no one really close enough, Never Fear. Does seem to get pretty close. He always tries to off-put them by doing a dummy move to the inside, but if you sort of do that over and over and over again, really becomes less and less effective. Two and a half seconds is the lead for Rumsky as we come into the final couple of corners. And start the next lap. Briefly, there's very well defensively. Matt F1 there making a bit of a mistake in that corner. It could cost him DRS. I think it might have done. Really do think it might have done that. Leaves the door open for Never Fear or Matty behind. And here comes Never Fear. He knows Matt F1 has not got DRS to defend. And here comes Slade. We've got Sniper out in the pits, down to 14, yellow flag in the first and third sector. Ooh, down the inside from Slave and the door shut. I think that was pretty optimistic from Slave there, I have to be honest. Oh, definitely thought about it. Into the final corner of Andretti. And up the hill we go. Should be an easy pass for BGR Slave against BGR Cold Steel. Oh! And Cold Steel's just absolutely wiped him out. I have no idea how that's just happened. It must have caused Cold Steel some front wing damage. Surely, no it hasn't. Not by the looks of things. That was a little bit unbelievable, I must say. That was pretty shocking. It was pretty shocking. I'm not sure if he just came off the brakes. It didn't seem like it was intentional, but it was very strange. Grant lights up the first sector. Purple. He's down in that middle sector. To ride on board with Thunder. It takes a while for him to get up into 8th gear there before turn 12. He was up in that first sector. As he comes through the final couple of corners, Thunder, he has actually started to catch up to Rumsky here, getting himself into a pretty nice rhythm. And it is pretty eager to be able to catch up to Profitable. We shall see. Oh, here goes Never Fear behind and moving up into 6th place. And 2 seconds is the gap between Thunder and Rumsky, but obviously Thunder been able to keep it within the white lines and doing a pretty good job up to now. The pack is really quite spread out with 9 laps to go. Wonder if Thunder will be able to catch up a little bit. Corner cut there from Rumsky, he's going to be careful. Just needs to start pulling away a bit, says Rumsky. He's got a second to find. We've got this midfield battle that's come back together once again. Pray for Yi is struggling a little bit there, I fear, as he does have Never Fear behind him. He's just about to go on to lap 21 with 8 laps to go. Will he get close enough? Down the next straight. They all break quite late, don't they, into turn 11, about 70 metres before the corner. And here comes the DRS line. He's going to try and go the long way round here. He's only getting on board from the off-board camera, or the broadcast camera. It's annoying. We're going to see a duck up and under from Never Fear here into the next corner. They both live to fight another day. Never fear, they're getting very close to the back of Pray For Ye, who is defended quite valiant. Can't say that word in a minute. Never fear. Oh, has now got past. So, lap 22 of 28 now. Still that around 2 second gap. I say that it was a big chunk that was just taken out by Exo Thunder. He's got a win potentially up for grabs, of course. And I don't see anyone pitting at this late stage now until we have a safety car, unless we have a safety car. Still, this battle continues. Pray For Ye. Just about gone on to lap 23 of 28. It'll be 5 laps to go when we cross the line next time around, and this midfield fight really starting to play a part towards the end of the race and giving us a bit of show and tell. A lot of them have got penalties. Matty's involved in this, our championship leader as well. He's got to think about the long game and just collect as many points as he possibly can. It's Praise now. Lost out on a little bit of time here. And Matt F1 will have DRS to close that gap, and he is quite significantly. Is he going to try and go to the outside? No drivers. Whoa! Broke far too late. Got onto the curb and he almost wiped out. Never fear as well, and gets a time penalty for the privilege rather of going off track. He did go over the white line. I mean, there's no argument with it. I don't think there's an argument with it really. But that's now put him on an even keel with everyone else, so the fighting might get a little bit more aggressive as we have 5 laps to go now. Keep an eye on the penalties. Matty's the only one with 9 seconds, so he's damage limitation here at the back of this train. Will finish 8th at very best. The other 3 all on an even playing field. And Rumsky now has got 6 seconds worth of penalties, so this is Thunder's in the bag. And if it is correct, that's what's on the standings in front of me. He's not got a single point so far in the season. He will take an absolute maximum of 50, bar the 1 point for the fastest lap, which is still going to Rumsky as it stands. Might just finish on the podium, Rumsky. It's such a shame for him that the penalties have hampered his chances of the race win, unless he has some miracle where Thunder gets himself at least 1 penalty and Rumsky makes a bit of a gap, or there's a double penalty coming his way, which, as we know, would be highly unlikely at this point. So, the race leader is on lap 25. And he goes wide again there. Matt up one, getting closer. This is their time now, really. A few laps to go. All the patience starts to wear thin. And you have to start going for some of those overtakes, especially when you've got other drivers around you on 3 seconds penalties like yourself. It's suddenly become all to play for. Pray for you, really just trying to hang on in that DRS window. Will he be able to catch up? This is going to be a time as well for drivers to start saving that battery. As we go into the last moments of the race, with 3 laps to go, who is going to start taking some risks? Who's going to try and charge up the battery as much as they can with a couple of laps to go? Especially through this first section, you could switch it to none and try and charge up quite a few braking zones. Just get it as high as possible. I think sacrificing this lap a little bit for battery for the final 2, especially if you can get it up to sort of 70-80%. You've got 40% per lap to use, so just sacrificing a little bit now. Especially someone like Pray For You, who is, I think, maybe just got DRS that time around, did he? No, he didn't, but a bit of a gap behind. Start recharge, which he is. We start charging the battery a few hundred metres before the braking zone. Do some of that clipping. But he has used a lot of battery in this lap to keep up with Never Fear, who clearly is starting to charge some of those batteries. So no huge gainers today. I haven't mentioned it for the last couple of weeks, and I'm really rubbish at it, so I do apologise for everyone watching now or listening now who's racing, and people who are watching later on about my driver of the day. I'm really rubbish with it, and I am sorry. But tonight we're going to go for Never Fear, I think, unless something dramatically changes at the end. But he's done very well. He has got a time penalty, but he's done some good racing today. And I think I would go for Never Fear. Would arguably go for Thunder, but I've done a couple of race winners this season so far, so I want to try and stay away from that one. Today, the penultimate lap of the race now. 1.5 seconds between Thunder and Rumsky. Matty with another time penalty, not able to keep himself and his car under control. Is Matt F1 going to do it this time? Because he's got this chance really, and he knows it as well, and he might get 5th place as he goes past Pray For You, who does really try and push him to the inside of the racetrack as they come back towards the racing line. Matt F1 now up into 6th place, and can he get himself within DRS range of Never Fear, who has been quite rightly charging up the battery just a little bit, but I think Matt actually arguably has a little bit more battery to play with than Never Fear, and he knows it. With 1 lap to go, this could be a pretty decent finish for, I'd say, for this race, top of the midfield. She's closing in And closing in with DRS, going to have an awesome first sector now as we go on to the final lap. Now he's only 4/10 back and he's getting closer and closer, charging up the battery. Never Fear doing the same. It's going to be interesting. It's only the DRS really that is going to separate them now. He's going to have to, I'd arguably say, just be a bit gentler into the corner, get yourself a good exit, which he has done. Running with slightly less downforce, I think. As he gets closer and closer, he might get close enough. Oh, it's a lock-up though from Never Fear. As the tyres will be screaming towards the end of this race. If we look at those tyre differences at the end, 16 laps these guys have been on these tyres. As we come towards the line for Rumsky as he wins the US Grand Prix, but only for a minute, and then Exo Thunder takes that victory away from him, his first points of the season alongside his first win, as we come across the line with these final few drivers. And there we go, Never Fear holds on to that 5th place in the end as we wait for others to come through. I don't think we've got any battles at the back at the end of this, but we will wait for all the drivers. But there's your race winner, car number 8, the red prancing horse, with Exo Thunder at the wheel. And just the final couple of drivers that we're waiting for now. It wasn't the box office event that the Circuit of the Americas can be, which is a shame. But there is your race winner, Exo Thunder. Thanks, Atmos. Appreciate it. Losing my voice a little bit through that one as well, I feel. So, gave Slave a driver of the day for that one. So Exo Thunder takes the victory from 4th place on the grid. Rumsky finished in 2nd, just let down by those time penalties. Grant was 3rd. 4th was Prof after starting on pole position. Never Fear moved from 9th to 5th and takes driver of the day today. Matt F1 was 6th. 7th was Pray For Ye. Matty 8th. 9th was Looney Man. Cold Steel in 10th. Oraf 11th. 12th is Slave. Marshy 13th, Diablo 14th, Sniper, Gandalf and Andy all did not finish this event. So, on to the next round in Mexico City. Circus Ramos Rodriguez. So we'll be back next week on Tuesday, same time, same place, 8 o'clock. Until then, thanks very much for watching. Keep subscribing to the channel. We'll keep fluctuating around that 500. So keep hitting the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And we'll see you next week in Mexico. Have a good week until then. Cheers.